Boom. And boom. Hello, and welcome to the Geekday podcast. We're turning your weekday into a geek day. I am one of your hosts, Rob, and with me today I have the other co-host, Mr. Alex Moon. Hello. Okay, hopefully everything is sounding... Howly low. Hopefully everything is good on the sound. Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff going on right now. Okay.
What is up, Mel, over in the chat over there?
Hello. Okay. What is this setup? Yeah, I know, it's a little bit different. I was feeling a little under the weather, and I didn't want to contaminate Alex today, so I was like, let's do this from our own places.
Also, who said, what is this setup? What are you on about? I'm not seeing...
Oh, the setup is beautiful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. This was something I kind of threw together at last minute, so thank you for letting us know. All feedback is great. But, Alex, we're here. We're doing the dang thing. We're persevering, pushing through everything. How are you doing? How was your week? What did you do this week?
What nerdy stuff did I do this week?
Yes, sir.
Well, I read comic books. I read comic books. I've actually been rewatching Miss Marvel. I don't know why, but I've been rewatching Miss Marvel, and I forgot how good and a little topical that show actually is. And I was just like, wow, that's, I don't know. It's been really good. It's been really fun looking back at some of those stuff that I remember really liking, and I think now, giving it some time, not being like just on the hype train and being like, but also with that being said, I feel like I'm missing part of this chat, so I'm trying to make sure I see everything.
Yeah, for some reason the TikTok chat isn't pulling up, but I have it pulled up on my iPad over here, so I can see that. Cool. Hell's Kitchen Comics, thank you so much for commenting and talking about us. Yeah, he's saying that he loves this new setup and said it's much better than the last one. Thank you. Yeah.
Damn.
No, damn. I kind of threw the last one.
I like it better when y'all aren't next to each other.
Well, good, man. I'm glad. I kind of talk about some of the stuff that I did, this past week, or actually, I mean, even the last weekend. We had a really cool opportunity to go to this the Bibliotech Comic Expo 2026. We went there. It's a nice little thing that I think it's the San Antonio Public Library does here, and it's kind of an event to get the young ones into comic books and cosplaying and such. If you follow us on TikTok and Instagram, you'll see a bunch of the content that we've made there, and we still have some really cool interviews to come. We have one with Gabe Perez, I believe his name.
I'm so excited about that one.
Yes.
That one was such a good interview. He was such a wealth of knowledge, and that one I'm super hyped about.
Yes, it's amazing. I can't wait for that one to come out. It's probably going to come out on its own next week on our YouTube, and we'll probably post like clips and stuff, as well as we have one final interview with Onyx the cosplay dog. Very, very cool. Another interview about a dog and his owner that is doing great work together. So that was really awesome. But other than that, I mean, I've continued to watch Percy Jackson. I have not seen the finale from this week, but slowly but surely working through that, as well as Alex. I finished the final comic book that you gave me for Captain America. Symbol of Truth. So far, yes. I'm aware you're going to be handing me a lot more, and that is the best of the ones that you gave me.
Well, I kind of get, and I told because I gave you technically a little bit of a sampling of each of his kind of eras of comics. So I believe I gave you, it was the first story of Sam Wilson's Captain America, Fear Him, which is not good. I recognize it's not good. And I told you going into it, I was like, Robert, here you go. It's not good. And then I gave you like Nick Spencer's first issue of his run, and then I gave you Symbol of Truth just to check out the Nick Spencer run. Genuinely, that's the one I want to get you. Volume 2 of that one is so good. But anyway, yeah.
Yes, this last one, Symbol of Truth, Homeland, super, super cool. And, the Wakandans, you get a little bit of Deadpool. You get kind of a little bit of a lot of different characters in here. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to talk a lot more about comics near the end, because I know we both had differing opinions on the new Captain America Chip Zdarsky
Uh,
number 6, I believe, right? That came out.
ah! Yeah.
So I'm very excited to get into that conversation in the end. But before we jump into our first topic, was there anything else you wanted to say, Alex?
Um. Yes, there is actually. Thank you, Robert. Sorry, I'm still playing with like the stuff over here.
No, you're good.
But yeah, one of the things that I was really excited about, Rob, and that we were kind of talking about right before we went live, is everyone in the comic space, content creator space, is always talking about we want to support indie books, we want to support indie comics, and all that. And I wanted us to do a little bit of an indie comic spotlight today. So we each kind of have an indie comic that we've read recently. And Robert, I actually like to start with you. I don't know if you have that guy on hand.
I do, yes.
So what's the indie comic that you were reading this week, man?
The one that I think I mean, the same one, correct? I didn't read the other one that was handed out to us, but it is Kill Stan. This was one of the ones that we picked up from the Bibliotech Comic Expo. We did a really cool interview with him, Dis Casillas, and man, this comic rules, man. It was one of the things that when he pitched it to us, it was, I believe he said, a man that wanted to kill himself, but he does it by being a vigilante. So he
End his life.
yeah, sorry, to end his life.
Leave the server.
Yes.
We're streaming on TikTok as well.
Yes, my bad. Sorry. So he wants to end his life, and he does it by being a vigilante. And this first issue is so good. It's so cool. There is obviously it is very graphic. It is. I wouldn't say it's. I guess it is R-rated. Yeah, no, it is. It is an R-rated book.
It is. It is. And honestly, it's such a good book because I actually read that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. The art is great. Maybe I'm being a snowflake because I did like the book. I felt like there should have been a trigger warning for that first page.
Oh, definitely.
That was wild. The book opens up with something, and I was just like, oh, they're just doing the thing. Okay. It was wild.
Yes, the art is
wild, but yeah.
fantastic. I'm gonna pull it out so we can show a couple of pieces of art. And Dis Casillas, the writer of it, has a really nice message in the back, but I can't really show that. Let me find a page that I can show because it is, like I said, it's
an R-rated book.
It is an R-rated book, so there's a lot of. I think I can show this page. Here's some of the art right here that is like showcased in there. There's a little bit of red stuff down there, but it's
grape juice.
Grape juice. Yes, it is short. It's concise, but he talks about how this book has been like rummaging in his mind for a couple of years, and now finally he's like, I feel like I can do it. He's also the owner of this publishing company, Inferno Comics, so definitely go check them out. Inferno.earth.com and Inferno.earth on Instagram. If you haven't seen the video, they ship directly to wherever you go, and issue 3 is just coming out, as well as Kickstarter for issue 4 has begun. So check it out. It's awesome. I really loved it.
Hell yeah. Rob, to kind of go over the one the other indie book that I wanted to highlight this week. It's actually a book called Coy Wolf. Oh,
wow.
And this is written by Bert. I think it's Hernandez. Yeah, I believe so. So Bert is a guy I actually got to meet a couple. Actually, I met him at that Comic Art San Antonio event.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
He gave me like his elevator pitch, and essentially the book. And first off, these covers are what sold me because like you saw that one. Like, look at these covers, Rob.
Those are
look
awesome.
Look at this artwork.
Yeah,
dude. They just the artwork just screamed out to me like as being something so cool. And the book so far is really good. I've read 2 issues. I haven't read the 3rd one just yet. But it's essentially this girl or this woman who is part indigenous, part Mexican, and she kind of has a power thrust upon her that kind of really dives into that like folklore and stuff like that. And it's really cool. The art's really great. There's one part in here that I was a little like, I don't know about that because she does have a stint. She's in the military. Something happens. She goes to be a border patrol agent. And that's the part where I was like, but the book, I feel like, does a really good job of being like, but wait a minute, it's about drugs. And they're like, she's tracking down drugs with the cartel. But there's also a lot of other great, stuff in there. But it's a really fun book. The art is amazing in it. I'm really excited to keep reading it. But yeah, so that was our little spotlight on some indie books. And before we get into our first topic, I did want to briefly let you guys know today on this episode of the Geekday podcast, we're going to be talking about some new trailers that have released. Really excited to get into that. We're going to be talking about some movie news, some gaming news, and of course, at the very end, we're going to be talking about some comic stuff. Rob, do you want to take us into our first topic?
I do. It is trailers. If you're not aware, today was a great day for just trailers coming out. A lot of TV show and movie trailers. I think I'm going to eat some of my words that I said last week about the Star Wars franchise, but I want to start at the top of my list right now, and that's going to be with Invincible Season 4 trailer. Alex, I know you do not care at all about this Invincible.
It's not that I don't care. It's that I couldn't care less. No. But go ahead, Rob.
Yes, Invincible Season 4 trailer came out. Let me go ahead and see if I can play this while I talk about it. So if you haven't seen it, you definitely check out the background. But Invincible is awesome. It is really cool because it's a superhero show, but it's completely different than things that have come before. It is not Marvel at all. It is dark, it is gritty, but it's also funny, and the characters are just like so down to earth. And the way that season 3 ended off really is pumping me up so much for season 4. And Robert Kirkman, the creator of Invincible, has continued to say we're expected one season per year, and I think he says he wants to go up to 8 seasons. So it is awesome. You can see there's some return of some fan favorite characters like Alan the Alien, and of course we get J.K. Simmons back as Omni-Man. So God, man, what can I say about this? That it's, well, not a spoiler, but 2, it's just like, this is the part of the comics that I have not read yet. So this is going to be me kind of catching up, as well as some interviews that I've seen. This is going to be some brand new stuff as well. Stuff that is not originally in the comic book. So I'm very excited to see the directions they go. I have 100% faith in this, and it's looking like it is going to be premiering on March 18th of this year, so 6 days before my birthday. This is truly a birthday present to me. Let's see. Yeah, we have Hell's Kitchen comic saying peak Dinosaurus incoming, yes. As well as we have Corbin New 68 on Twitch saying, I can't wait for Thrag. Yes. Very, very, very excited. Alex, I know you have not watched anything really read Invincible. Is it because it's something that doesn't necessarily interest you? Is it more because like you don't have time for it? Or is it really, I mean, you have a child, so I'm assuming it's a little bit more difficult for you to get time away to watch something that's a little bit more graphic?
That is partially sometimes the thing. Like, that's also why I couldn't watch The Boys. Because like I would like put on the first episode and be like, someone just jumped in that man's pee hole. I can't, there's not much I can do here. And it's not that I don't like that stuff. It's hard, like you said, it's hard for me to find all the hours in a day to catch up with some of that. But it's not even that. It's just genuinely, I haven't had the time. But honestly, I've been seeing people really hype about this, and I am going to be peer pressured into finally watching it, I think is what's happening. But me, I'm so excited because this happened recently with one of the guys actually in one of my lives, where we pushed them to check out the Daredevil show. They hadn't seen it. And I was a little jealous because I was like, it's all out. Like, you can go and, experience it. So I'm excited about having a little bit of that experience, like just getting to jump into it and, kind of leading up to this season, hopefully just going through it. So, I mean, again, I don't really watch it. I am excited to kind of get into it now just so I can hop on the bandwagon and be a fucking fake fan, honestly.
I mean, there's no really fake fans if it's something that you truly enjoy, and unless you're putting other people down. But
Robert, if there's one thing I love, it's putting other people down. But
Alex, do you want to introduce our next movie?
Oh yes, because not only did we get the Invincible trailer, we got another trailer, and this one I am so hype about, nerds. And I saw some of you guys in the chat already mentioning it, so I'm really excited to talk about it. But we got the Masters of the Universe trailer, and for those of y'all who don't know, or maybe Masters of the Universe doesn't bring anything to mind, that is He-Man, the man who is so insecure that his pronouns have to be in his superhero name. Or I mean, he's not really a superhero, right? It's just like his
Yeah, yeah.
character. But anyway, we got that trailer that came out today, and Robert, oh my god, that trailer looks so good. Y'all can see it right there. It just, I'm someone who grew up. I didn't watch the original Masters of the Universe. My dad did. He showed me that original movie. But I don't know about you, Rob. I know I'm like 50 years older than you. But like I grew up, and in the early 2000s they had like a resurgence of He-Man. They did like an early 2000s He-Man show, and I was so into it. I had all the toys and all that. So that was like my era of He-Man, and being someone who's watched some of the old cartoons, really got into it in the early 2000s. I love these characters. They're just such like, there's no other way to say it. They're just big, strong, oiled up men.
Yeah.
And I'm down for that. But also, with that being said, there's also so many strong female characters in it too. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just here for the naked men, but partially I am. But I'm hyped. What did you think of this, Robert?
So I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum of you. I'm so excited for this. I think this looks fantastic. It looks awesome. I've honestly never seen anything He-Man before in my life. I've
Really?
never,
That is
yeah,
wild, bro.
I've never
That is
seen any
wild.
of the TV show, none of the comics, nothing like that. So if this is able to be like kind of my first foray into the Masters of the Universe sort of world, I'm very excited for it. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think this looks so cool. I saw some people online saying like, oh, this kind of looks like the Minecraft movie, which I mean, I think for everything the Minecraft movie is, I do think it is a very good kind of idea for that world. But I love the idea of like just a random dude with a sword, gets immense powers. Tell me if I'm super far off, but I mean that's kind of the vibes that I'm getting from this trailer.
I mean,
Um,
in the original show, it's more like they're living in like in the original show. He-Man is not a regular guy. He's a prince. They're in this world. He's kind of more akin to Thor. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Hmm.
Like he's not like from the this other place comes into this world. He has grown up here. It's essentially Thor with a sword a little bit.
Okay.
And he transforms from the prince to the big ass warrior He-Man, right? And this movie kind of looks like it's going the Smurfs slash Sonic the Hedgehog slash, you know what I mean? Like kind of
Yeah.
like he's in this world, like in our world, and we're bringing him into the Masters of the Universe world, which I'm not terribly upset about. Some of that's probably the corniest stuff in the trailer, but I'm excited about it. I'm hyped for it. There's nothing in it that is making me worried. Really, I am just excited to see that world. But jumping off that, Robert, and I did see here in the chat people are already asking. I think it was it Corbin? I think asked about Jared Leto, because Jared Leto, it was Corbin or somebody. I'll say it in a minute. Sorry,
Hmm.
but Jared Leto is going to be Skeletor. He's playing Skeletor in this film, and we saw him a bit in the trailer. We actually saw some action between Skeletor and He-Man. There was also some stills and some stuff released. Us seeing him. Robert, before I give you my opinion, what was your? I know you're not someone who's as big into He-Man, but just from your perspective, seeing the character design, knowing it's Jared Leto, what are your thoughts?
Um, Characters. I'll start with character design. I think the character design looks fantastic. I like this kind of really interesting mix of like, live action. God, what is it called? Not CG, but it's there. It's practical. There we go. It's like a practical Skeletor. I know what Skeletor looks like in like the cartoon. It's a famous sort of character. So
Mhm.
seeing this, I'm like, oh, that's a really good adaptation of that. I think he looks good. Jared Leto is so hit and miss with me, and I would say like 98% of the time it is a miss. But I think it's because of his face. Like I think like his physical
He
like
said
his
he's ugly.
no, he's not ugly, but I think like the way he portrays characters with his face is uh very comic booky, which, you know, for better or worse, depending on what sort of thing you're kind of going for, could work. I think that him being in a mask with a hood up that is covering that sort of stuff, I think, hey, maybe it'll do well. Now, do I like Jared Leto as a person? Absolutely not. He's a garbage human being. So I wish that they got someone else, but I think with the hand that has been dealt to, I guess, this cast, I think I'm hoping for good. I'm hoping for good. It would really suck that if this is the reason why this movie goes down. Very much like how Ansel Elgort was the reason why the new West Side Story was not great, even though Rachel Ziegler is just fantastic. But what is someone that has a little bit more of a connection to Masters of the Universe and He-Man? How did you feel, one, hearing that it's going to be Jared Leto, and then two, seeing what Skeletor looks like?
You know, so I agree with you about all your Jared Leto sentiments. I also don't like him as a person. You know, he's I think kind of a creep, but I also really quickly don't know what deal Jared Leto made or whose blood he drank to get into all of these like kind of nostalgia bait movies. Like he was in Tron, he's you know, he's coming into Masters of the Universe, arguably two of some of the biggest properties from like the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that, but I was so hyped for the design, you know, I know I saw GI over here in the TikTok chat saying how he doesn't know anything about He-Man. If you don't know the thing is, if you don't know anything about He-Man, if you put the character in front of you, you've seen it. You know, he's so iconic. The iconography of He-Man is so large, right? And then Skeletor, I would say even more than He-Man, because you know you have the memes, you have you know, everything else that comes along with Skeletor. But those characters are such an iconic design. They look a certain way. You see them and you immediately know these are, wow, Rob.
Sorry.
You immediately know that these guys are from Masters of the Universe. And with that being said, this is spot on. This is spot on. They didn't mess with it too much. They didn't add a bunch of leather. They didn't try to bring it down to reality. This is Skeletor. On a look basis, it's perfect. It looks so good. It's something that whether or not you know the character or not, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's the guy who goes, fuck you, He-Man, and he runs away. And, you know, it's iconic. It looks so good. Like you said, I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Leto, but with that being said, I can see him doing the voices. Because like you say, he's very animated as an actor. Like it or hate it, he can do that. I think Skeletor is a perfect role for that. And I really hope that they, like you said, I think keep the mask on him. Don't make it some bullshit where he takes it off or he turns into a regular guy at the end fight or some shit. Keep him in that, and it's perfect. As much as I don't like Jared Leto, I do think that if we're going to have him in any role, this is probably the best role for him.
I agree majorly. I want to go ahead and jump into some of the comments that we have here on our TikTok and our Twitch. If you're listening after the fact on any podcast services around the world, please come ahead and join us every Thursday live here on both of these channels. We'd love to have you guys in here and read some of your comments, so to know what y'all guys are also thinking. Corbin in the Twitch chat says, I need an "and remember" quote in this movie. Don't know what that's about, Alex. Can you do your best and remember if you know what he's talking about?
Genuinely, I don't recall.
Okay.
I'm sitting here like, what is that from? And, you know, but again, in my defense, the last time I watched anything He-Man related was in 2006. I'm sorry, and I know I'm probably losing geek points for that, and that's fine with me. I'd rather be honest than be like, of course I remember, but I don't.
We also have another one from Corbin saying, but do you think they'll change the voice like they did in Carnage in Venom?
I hope so.
It's like, I didn't see any of I've only seen the first Venom movie. Yeah,
Robert, you didn't see the Venom movies?
I saw the first one, and I liked it, but not enough to continue to watch them.
You're
but
wild.
I do hope that there's some sort of voice modulation going on there. I don't need 30 Seconds to Mars coming on, and, you know, that sort of thing. And then lastly,
what if that's all Skeletor does in the movie?
Just come break me down.
No, what if it's just he's just sliding it into all his dialogue. He's like, "You thought you could bury me, He-Man." But anyway, go ahead, Rob.
That'd be great. And then lastly, we got a compliment from Hell's Kitchen Comics saying, "Not gonna lie, this stream has been my fave Geek Day. I don't know if it's because of the setup or the topics, or both." Well, thank you very much. We are continuously trying to adapt each time, so any feedback is perfect. Thank you so much. Alex, I'm ready to jump into our final trailer. And this is
the final trailer.
The final trailer. And this is where
this is where you're gonna eat.
This is where I'm gonna eat my words from last week, and it's gonna be Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and pull up the screen.
Okay.
We've been starting with me. I kind of want to hear you jump into this first.
I am so hyped. I'm so excited. As much as we were, like you said, we're talking last week about the Kathleen Kennedy stuff and all that, like. And we were talking all this shit about how they love to do this little era between, Empire Strikes Back and not Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi and the Rey movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this. I'm excited about it. Give me more of it.
Yeah.
It just looks so good. I'm excited to see, what's his name? Sam
Witwer.
There you go. I love him in everything he does. He's so passionate about these characters. He's a great voice actor. He loses himself in all of these roles. And you kind of think, right? Like, oh, they're just voice acting performances or whatever. But there's so much more than that, and he puts a lot into it. This I'm excited about. Maul is a character that hasn't gotten enough love, hasn't gotten enough respect. I'm glad that we're getting it in this trailer. It looks like. And this is it's a show coming out. I didn't see any information on how many episodes it's going to be or how they're going to be releasing it, but I am so hyped. Give me more of this. I'm absolutely here for it. And the Clone Wars animation, you can't go wrong with it. It looks so good. Don't change it. And the way that it's adapted from the original Cartoon Network Clone Wars saga to when they brought it back to Disney Plus and finished it out, the continuous how do you say it, progression of that animation style is so peak. It is so good. They haven't missed. I'm so hype about this. Robert, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat my words. I think last week the words I said were, "I do not care about Star Wars," and immediately this came out. I saw it on Reddit where I get most of my entertainment news and stuff, and I was like, let me check it out. Yeah, and immediately I was like, oh, I'm back in. Like I'm like, as it's like that Rick and Morty meme where it's like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in,"
Yeah.
And God, it is so cool. Like you said, exactly. You cannot go wrong with this Star Wars, the Clone Wars animation. It's beautiful, and they've continued to perfect it upon each iteration. I thought, like, when they came back for season 7, that it was perfect. Like, nothing could be better. And then it got better in the Bad Batch. And then now, I can't see how they continue to improve from this animation style, but God, I'm excited to see how. Like you said, Sam Witwer is fantastic. He loses himself in these characters, and I love Maul. I love Maul, and I love that Dave Filoni brought him back in the Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and kind of how he ends in that last season of Clone Wars, where he's like, "Hey, Darth Sidious wants to kill us all. He even wants to kill me. Oh, sorry, he wants to unalive us all. He wants to unalive me. How can I, become my own person in this?" And now I think that this is what this is going to be. Like, kind of, not necessarily a Maul origin story, but kind of a continuation of who he can be outside of the canon of literally just Phantom Menace. That's the one time we've really gotten him. And I guess
Solo.
And Solo for 30 seconds. 34 seconds. We have Corbin in the chat saying, "A Sith Lord led show or movie? Damn, I didn't think they had it in them." Yeah, I know. I mean, well, they had Acolyte, which I never watched. I hear it's decent. But I know that one
I watched the first 20 minutes and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, it's got the dude from The Good Place in it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I would have never thought of him to be an evil character, but but yeah, it's awesome that we're getting this Sith Lord, and I think he's not gonna be a Sith Lord. I think he's just gonna be, it's starting out his bounty empire or his his drug or his crime empire. But overall, I'm super excited for this. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait for it to come out on April 6th. Wow, all both of these things are coming out within like 2 weeks of each other. Invincible season 4,
Which
Invincible season 4, March 18th. Maul is going to be April 6th, and then Masters of the Universe is June 5th. So they're all
dang.
like 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, that's awesome.
And you know what? I'm excited that I mean, because I know we were talking about it in previous episodes, that this year is like the year of the superhero stuff, but it's also just the year of great nerdy stuff. Like, I know technically Invincible is a superhero property, right? But like Masters of the Universe just being a great, like, just nostalgic property there. Star Wars stuff. I mean, I think we're going to be eating good. The content is going to flow this year.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, we got a lot of really great trailers. Rob, would you like to introduce our topic 2?
Yes, sir. It is more movie news. We got some more news coming in about new writers, and some people are seeing this as kind of a bad thing. First off, we're going to talk about how Christina Hodson has officially been tapped to write the script for Batman: The Brave and the Bold. I know a lot of people. Well, first off, let's talk about her credits, right? First one, Birds of Prey, the movie that came out for the DCEU, and then The Flash, Bumblebee, and then the canceled Batgirl, the one that was like shelved indefinitely, and we'll never see the light of day of that one. But
I feel like we're going to see it at some point, though.
yeah, I think with this new acquisition, I think somehow they're gonna kind of finagle the way to get that out, as well as I think they're trying to do with Acme as well. But overall, Alex, what are your first thoughts about this?
Well, so my first thoughts are, I think people. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the writing credits, right? Because, or actually, before that, I want to start off with actually what happened with James Gunn regarding this, because people have been asking for a long time, James Gunn, like, hey, who's writing Batman? And because he said that the script's being worked on, and he didn't want to say who was writing it. And he literally said he didn't want to put pressure on them. He didn't want, whatever. Because Batman's such a huge property. People are very passionate about all nerd stuff, but Batman probably is one of the biggest ones. Now, James Gunn really didn't want that to happen. This came out, and I forgot what exactly report came out that kind of outed her as the writer. But rightly so, James Gunn was trying to hide it. She's been getting so much hate. She's been getting so much like, oh, she wrote The Flash. She wrote Birds of Prey. She wrote, and I feel like a lot of people are focusing on The Flash a little bit. And I feel like people are being way too ridiculous about this personally. Because one, everyone's ignoring Bumblebee.
Yeah.
And Bumblebee is a great movie. Like, Bumblebee is so good. It was better than the last 2 Transformers movies that came out before it. I would argue probably better than all of them except the first one. That in itself is such a big credit, right? And Birds of Prey, I don't think was bad. I think that people were maybe wanting something different from the DCEU at the time, and that just wasn't it. But it wasn't a bad film. It was genuinely a fun time. The Flash is probably the one that most people go, but even The Flash, I think Ezra Miller brings The Flash down more than what it deserves because the script isn't bad,
Yeah.
So from a script writing perspective, I'm excited about it, and the other thing that I feel like a bunch of people are overlooking is Brendan Fraser has come out and sung the accolades of this Batgirl movie that we might not ever get to see. And he said he had so much fun. He loved the character. He said that the writing was so good. He was so excited about the movie. And Brendan Fraser signs up for things. He can do whatever the hell he wants. And he signs up for things that he believes in. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm not as skeptical and as worried as some people are about this, Christina Hodson officially writing Batman. But that's just me. I feel like people are being a bit too harsh. What about you, Rob?
I think I agree a lot with what you say, and to highlight kind of my overall thoughts, I think Corbin put it really well in the Twitch chat. That's such bullshit because the public will always hate on your worst and not look at your successes. I 100% agree with that. It is like you mess up once, and now you're
Yeah, exactly.
you're deemed it's awful. I mean, she didn't even take the first stab at the Flash script. She was brought in to be like, hey, this is the overall idea that we have. Make something, and she had like 3 months to do it. Which I mean, like in the long scheme of things, that's not a lot of time as a screenwriter. Like that is literally like, oh hey, you have a week to do this. So it's insane that like she gets so much crap for that. I also agree with Hell's Kitchen Comics in the TikTok chat. Birds of Prey is not a horrible movie. It's not. It is a fun movie. Is it? I think we've kind of said this on a previous episode of the Geekday podcast where I think a lot of newer people that are trying to consume this content expect the best of the best. They expect an Infinity War. They expect an end game for each one of these movies that come out. When that's just not realistic. Because if everything has those, has those kind of stories, none of the stories matter. You need to have these smaller ones. You need to have a story about Harley Quinn getting over a breakup, and so she goes like, with all these other women and has a story with it to make these other stories matter. And so, to me,
And then when she's more independent in Suicide Squad, you know where that comes from.
exactly, yes, and you see how well she shines in that James Gunn Suicide Squad. It's fantastic. Also, I mean, yeah, Bumblebee overall great. I've heard conflicting things about Batgirl. There's the Brendan Fraser thing. I've heard some things where like, it was kind of like all over the place. But overall, we'll never quote unquote never know until that movie comes out.
It's almost a little unfair for them to add that in her credits. Like,
yeah, it's something that hasn't been proven to be good or bad. And then lastly, I think that if we are to put her into this box of like, hey, like you can only write these movies because these are the only movies that you have been kind of tapped to write, we'll never know unless she steps outside of this box. We don't know the kind of way that James Gunn wants this Batman. Is it going to be like the Matt Fraction Batman? It's definitely not going to be like the Matt Reeves Batman. So we won't really know until we get that first teaser trailer or that first trailer overall to see what kind of tone it is. And of course, like you said, Batman is a very important character, so there's gonna be these haters for this movie. So no matter what, I think you just have to go in with absolutely nothing, and no expectations. I think that's the best thing to do for any sort of piece of media now. Go in there just to have a time, not necessarily have a good time, but just to be like, hey, I'm here to consume some new stuff, and let's see how I feel after it. Don't put too much pressure on everything.
Hell yeah. And with that, so we're like you said, don't put too much pressure on stuff. We're going to transition to our next story where there's a lot of pressure being put on certain things, right? So this next movie news story we kind of wanted to hit was Kevin Feige. So this is about Avengers Doomsday, right? Avengers Doomsday and just the Marvel projects in general right now for the MCU. But Kevin Feige reportedly is focusing all of his time right now on Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Right now, he is not really peeking in and seeing what's going on as in depth as he was previously with other phases. Right now, it is being reported that he is lasered in on making sure that Doomsday is working, that it's going to be a success, and that Secret Wars following it is working and it's going to be a success. That is where he's at right now. That is where he's camping out. That's the battle he's fighting right now. And all other projects he is leaving in the hands of each creative team. So Daredevil Born Again, Kevin Feige's not going in and watching dailies right now. He's letting them do their thing. The other projects that Marvel has going on, the Punisher special and stuff, he's letting them handle it. And the biggest thing that points us to is that that means he has left Amy Pascal and Sony in charge of Spider-Man Brand New Day. He's not being as involved as he was in the previous 3 films, is what we're hearing. So one, Robert, I want to have this conversation. We're leaving Amy Pascal, who has done a number of the other Spider-Man films, right, in charge. One, I want to talk about, is this a good sign? Should we be worried about that? Amy Pascal is being left to her own devices because arguably you can say Kevin Feige's involvement in the other films is kind of what for better or worse, made them what they are. And then, so is that leading us to another Spider-Man 3 or ASM 2? And additionally, is Kevin Feige panicking? With focusing solely on the Avengers films? Is this a bad sign? So, Rob, first we'll start off with that first question. How do you feel about Sony Pictures kind of being left to their own devices with Spider-Man: Brand New Day?
I think the teams that have proven themselves should be perfectly fine. Give them their grace. We've seen the stuff that was reshot and redone for, Daredevil Born Again season 1, and how fantastic, how everyone loved that, right? So I'm okay with that. The only thing that I am afraid of is Amy Pascal with the Spider-Man, and it's I don't know. We've like you said, we've seen the ASM twos, the TASM 2. We've seen. I like Spider-Man 3. I think Spider-Man 3 is a fun movie. I think TASM 2 is probably one of my least favorite movies I've ever seen in my life. But overall, people. There are people that love them. Does this make me a bit more worried for Brand New Day? Yes and no. I think the director, I forget his name, the one that directed Shang-Chi as well, who's now in charge
Yes.
of Brand New Day, is fantastic. Shang-Chi was amazing. It was one of the highlights of Phase 4 for Marvel. So I'm not afraid of that. I'm a little bit more afraid of the corporations themselves.
Daniel Cretton? Cretton?
I think so.
Yes, Daniel Cretton. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. I'm more afraid of corporate overreach rather than the individual teams themselves. Like I've said, they have proven themselves, and I'm okay with just letting them be them, because that is, to me, a brand new age of what Marvel seems to kind of be going into. I do think that is what is needed for the MCU, is for each person to have their own personal touch into that. Because, I mean, with that, we get the Miss Marvels. We get the WandaVisions, that are these fantastic character pieces that are not necessarily easily dissolved or easily picked apart. They live within each other, and they make these just fantastic stories that we talk about. That how many times do we think of the ship of Theseus now, or we talk about what is grief of not love enduring? Sort of these amazing banger lines. I don't know. I think it's fine. As for if Kevin Feige is panicking, I think he is a little bit. I definitely think at the end of the day, they messed up with kind of thinking, oh, we can expand. We can just keep expanding. And I think they should have done a little bit more of what they did in at least Phase 2, where it's let's plan these out. Because if it seems like they're excited to get all these new characters out there as fast as possible, but with doing that, they're not able to track any continuity nowadays. So yeah. I think that these movies are going to be, Doomsday and Secret War are going to be soft reboots and a way to kind of get these legacy characters out of the way to bring in the more new characters. So we'll see hopefully the Sam Wilsons, we'll see the America Chavez's, the Shang-Chi's. I think these movies, we're going to lose Thor. I think we're going to lose Hulk. But maybe they'll be there, but more as I don't know, advisory roles within the universe. They'll have a cameo or whatever. I think they're going to be relegated to the Stan Lee cameos. But I do think, especially with characters that I've been kind of talking about, we're going to see Avengers West Coast. I think we'll see we're going to see the champions. I think we're going to see these smaller teams get more of a light. And God, let's redo the Runaways. That'd be amazing. Let's do all these different characters. I think we 100%. Need to really lean onto these newer characters that represent Marvel now, rather than the Phase 1 through 3s that is hey, these were the golden day Marvels. This is what Marvel looks like nowadays, and start pushing that. But I talked a lot. Let's go. What do you think?
No, I genuinely think you've mirrored a lot of my sentiments that I had. People like to act like Sony hasn't made good Spider-Man movies. and people are like freaking out about it a little bit. But I do trust that they're going to do something. And honestly, I think you hit it on the head. I'm not so much worried about the creative teams. I'm more worried about the corporate overreach. I'm worried about, honestly, the biggest fucker I'm worried about, the one that I wish I could go in there and tie him up in a chair and put him in a closet, is Avi Arad. He's the one that I'm the most worried about, because he's the one that goes in and is like, Sam, make Venom. We need to sell the toys. Like,
Yeah.
I just like, and that's what I'm worried about. That's the dude. But again, he's the guy that comes in and is usually like, the kids will buy the toy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's the guy who, that's where his mind's at. And I'd probably be more worried about him than Amy Pascal. But I think overall, I mean, Sony has shown us that really, like you said, Spider-Man 3, not as bad as people love to hate on it for. ASM 2, it has its fans. It's that's my excuse me, that's my wife's favorite Spider-Man movie. So for all of the junk that we throw around about these guys, all you idiots were still screaming your asses off when Andrew walked out. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think, I agree with you. Like, I think people are being a little too jumping on the bandwagon of like, oh no, everything's going. And it's just that same thing of like, the MCU's back, the MCU's dead, that kind of thing. Now, also with is Kevin Feige panicking? Yes. And I think, I think he should be, because obviously, like you said, they've been rushing stuff out. I think now, honestly, I'm fine with him being in this chair right now of making sure these movies succeed, because now he's like, you know what? We're just pushing out stuff. I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't as involved. And, like you said, that's why we get in these subpar movies. I'm going to lock in, make sure I'm giving them the best experience possible. Because if the Avengers movies don't work, it's almost like, why do the other ones?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they all literally, from its inception, the MCU has led up to Avengers films. So if we're not getting good Avengers films, what's the point? So, I'm not super worried about that. I think he's right where he needs to be. Personally, Rob, why don't you tell us about what some of the people are saying in chat?
Yeah, definitely. We got Corbin saying, I'm a sucker for nostalgia, but we can't keep relying on nostalgia to make good Marvel movies. We need to make good projects now so that it can be nostalgic in the future. 100% agree.
Yes. Yes.
Cops for you. I agree. And then we have Hell's Kitchen Comics saying people will go buy 5 filler comics. Then when a movie is a little bit of a setup, they complain. So true. That's all Age of Revelation was. Yeah, like, and then Rob with great takes as usual. I'll take it. And then hello to Snowball in the chat. And we have a question here from Vince. How do you think Man of Tomorrow is going to be?
I'll do it quick so we can get on to the rest of the topic, and then Robert, I'll throw it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited about it, about what they're building, the world. I believe in James Gunn's vision for this. The new cinematographer was just announced. I'm hyped. What about you, Rob?
I am very hyped. I can't wait to see more. I think this is going to lean more on the actual All-Star Superman lore more than the first Superman movie was, and I'm hoping to see that, and it'll be a lot better.
Hell yeah! And then let's go ahead and we'll skip over to our third topic for today. Heard. Gotcha. And then our third topic for today is going to be gaming news. We want to talk about a couple things. First off, we've got some stuff that was canceled, some remakes that were canceled, and also some reboots that are coming up that I'm super hype about. I am trying to type on this thing, and it is being nuts. The whole thing, I'm just going to ask.
Oh, I was going to say we could go to our comics this week because we had a little bit more of a conversation about that than the gaming stuff.
Oh, were you trying? Oh, okay. You want to skip that thing then?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you put it on the fourth topic.
Yeah, I was like, skip to this.
Oh, skip to the... Oh,
yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Never mind. We're not talking about that. Sorry. real quick, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake was canceled. What the hell's going on, Ubisoft? And then there's a new Fable game releasing. They're rebooting it. I'm super excited. Robert, are you excited?
I am. I watched the Xbox developer dive today, and it looks fantastic. Very excited. They have a really cool thing where there's over 1,000 named characters, and each one of them is going to have a really cool feature that each person has their own perspective on who you are. Depending on every choice that you make, every person will have a different attitude towards you. So that is something that just scratches my brain, my little gamer brain, so good, and I can't wait for that to come out. They announced it sometime in autumn in 2026. So
Hell yeah,
back when everyone goes
I'm
to
hype
school.
as hell. And Robert, for future reference, I'm dyslexic, so I read skip this. So I was like, okay, I guess we're skipping comics.
No.
Anyway, so now to our fourth topic. Robert, so we're gonna get into comics, guys. We always end out the show, or now we're gonna start ending out the show with our comic talk. Robert, what did you pick up this week, baby?
Yes, I picked up a couple of different things. I'm really sad. One of the things that I was not able to pick up last week, I've been calling around. I didn't get to pick up Lara Croft or Cyberpunk, unfortunately. They are sold out literally everywhere, so I'm glad to hear that. But
Heroes as well?
Heroes as well. Heroes and then both Aliens worlds that we usually go to were all sold out. So that is unfortunate. But I picked up the second printing of Batman Annual. I haven't got to read it yet, but I'm very excited to jump into it.
Finally, after that.
Finally, I got it. It's not the first printing, but it's it's still the comic book overall. And then I picked up Captain America 6, which I know we're gonna talk a lot about right now.
Oh.
Daredevil and Punisher have not got to read that yet, and then Planet She-Hulk #3 have not got to read that yet, but Stephanie Phillips, you're knocking it out of the park. You're amazing. Come do an interview with us. That'd be great.
I would die.
I would die.
I genuinely, I can't tell you. I know for some reason she gets hate sometimes, and genuinely, I'm just gonna say it's just because she's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is. People think that women can't write awesome comics. But I've never read a Stephanie Phillips thing I haven't liked.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, but Rob. So you said you picked up a couple things. You haven't fully got a chance to crack open stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, dude. Planet She-Hulk still killing it.
Dude, I can't wait to get
Planet
back into
She-Hulk still killing it. So good.
I think my dark horse right now. Sorry, before we jump into it,
go ahead.
Is Nova Centurion. I'm loving that run right now.
Really?
I've had a sweet spot for Nova in my life, but getting into this new run after the Imperial event has been awesome. It's a completely different look at Nova overall. But go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Well, no, the other thing I was going to say, now that you're mentioning it, kind of like your Dark Horse comic that's coming out, mine, and I mentioned it last year, is still the new Avengers. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I did it. Someone's trying to call me on this thing. Oh. But anyway, let me actually 2 seconds, 4 seconds.
Very good.
Just 2 seconds. Oh, wait, not what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Putting it on Do Not Disturb. Anyway, sorry. But there's some great Bucky and Natasha stuff in this book. I know a lot of people really love that relationship dynamic. God. Did I go out right there?
No,
cool.
you kind of you were kind of a little frozen, but you're good back. You're back now.
Yeah, this one is so kinky. There's literally bondage in this one. I loved it. Anyway, I'll let you borrow it.
Heard.
But no, this week there was a lot of great stuff, and also I realized I missed books because I missed like 2 comic book days in December, and now I'm remembering which ones I missed or which books I unfortunately missed out on. So like I picked up the new Thor, the Immortal Thor. I've been loving the Immortal Thor. It's been so great. I cracked it open and I went, I'm missing context. And I realized I missed the last issue. So I was just like, shit. And then I did the same thing for, I forgot the other book. But yeah. Robert, can you do me a fat favor?
Yes, I can.
Fill time for 2 seconds.
I will fill time for 2 seconds. While I fill this time, if y'all guys have any questions about any of the comics that we're reading or anything else that we've kind of been talking about today, I would love to go ahead and talk. But as of right now, like I said, I've been loving the Nova Centurion run. I don't know what it is. It is kind of like a really interesting mix of both I guess Guardians of the Galaxy, that kind of wacky sort of thing, as well as a really cool like outlaw sort of thing that has been really fun to read. To see kind of a more snarkier side to Nova has been very, very, very cool, and I can't wait for eventually when they decide to bring him into the MCU. They should have done that right after Infinity War, but now we're back into it. What's up?
Uh, no, so I got done what I had to get done.
Uh-huh.
But in the TikTok chat, Hell's Kitchen Comics, my boy Shmeek, he put, Rob, please beat Alex till he watches it.
Yes,
Alex has a handicap placard. Alex is a cripple. I'm calling ADA.
I'll get a hate. I'll be defined as a hate crime, so I don't think I can do that. However, I can place perhaps one Lego right underneath the cane, and we'll see what happens underneath that.
How would that do anything?
I don't know. Hey,
That would
balance.
just under the cane. Anyway, so Rob, the thing. So right here, Shmeek's also saying he can't wait to hear us talk about the Chip Zdarsky run. So Robert, Captain America #6 came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Chip Zdarsky run hasn't been a single bad comic. I've been saying last year this was my comic book of the year. I loved it. So good, so good. I don't know why you did me like this, Daddy. I gave you everything, and you ruined it. The new comic came out this week, and I'm going to tell you guys, light spoilers for... I just spit everywhere. That's how upset I am. Light spoilers for Chip Zdarsky's Captain America #6. I didn't like it. I felt like I was watching the same damn thing. And as someone who's watched Brave New World too many times, I'm okay with the same thing. But it's literally the same thing. It's, Robert, I know I want to hear your opinion, but this book, where is this piece of shit? Where is it? Because I just like threw, oh no. So I have book 1 up there. I put it back this morning. But book 6 comes out. And Robert, I think I'm also upset because if y'all saw my video talking about this shit, I mean, y'all know, I'm a big Captain America fan. Ride or die till I die. Love Captain America. Love Steve, Sam Wilson, all of them. I was so upset because not only did I buy the A cover of this book, but I also... Oh, wait. Where is this book? Am I going crazy right now? Hold up. Where is this shit? Is it ran.
Oh, no.
It ran.
It knew you were going to treat it bad, so it ran away.
Yeah.
Both
It's
versions,
right
you got it.
Thank you. So I got the A cover, right? It looks good. It looks cool. I got one of the variants because I like the look of this team. And then I got a foil cover, and then I didn't like the book, Robert. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make my case real quick. Then I'll let Robert, give this little fat boy some time to breathe. So I didn't like that it was the same shit that we got in the issue in issue 1. And I know, Robert, you kind of don't agree with that. I'm interested to hear your opinion on it. But in issue 1 of Chip Zdarsky's Captain America, let me grab it. It's right behind me. Oh, okay. So in issue 1 of Chip Zdarsky's Captain America, we open up the story. Steve Rogers has just come out of the ice. He's had a traumatic experience. And he is immediately going into another battle, right? Going into Latveria. And he doesn't understand his place in the world. He's talking with Thunderbolt Ross. He's talking with Iron Man. And then he doesn't trust anybody. He's talking to his friends about how he doesn't understand what the new world has come to, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the book, he meets David Colton, who is another version of Captain America, holding the shield and all that, right? In this book, Steve Rogers has just come out of One World Under Doom. He's conflicted about his place in the fight. He talks to Thunderbolt Ross. He talks to his friends about how he feels. He meets a new team that he doesn't trust. And then he also meets another Captain America guy with a shield that he's about to go into Latveria with. It's the same shit. This is the same thing that I said about James Cameron's newest Avatar film. They wrote the same thing, and then they forgot to change anything. And they just did the same thing. And they thought that just because they put Nick Fury in there and they made this dude not have a helmet, that I wouldn't realize it. But it's the same shit. I was so mad. I was like, no way you did this to me, bro. Rob, what do you think about this? I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Where's my EpiPen?
I agree with you a lot. In a different way to
Go
what
ahead.
you're. So I agree that it is kind of repetitive, like very kind of redundant from issue one. However, I'm thinking of it as kind of a different way, where I'm thinking of it more as an aspect of history repeating itself. So it's like, oh hey, yes, and he kind of says it again. He's like multiple times during issue six. He's been saying, I've been taken advantage before. I've been used before. I've been doing this sort of stuff. So we're seeing again another more hesitant Steve Rogers that even before he's like, okay, I came out of this. I had a better sort of like, hey, the world's a little bit different. Let me go ahead and I'll trust again. Now we've seen what that's been doing to him until now we see yet again, hey, we need you to go back to Latveria. And I'm seeing it more as, I don't know if you've played them before, but a roguelike sort of game where you die, you start back at the beginning, and things are a little bit different. You get like more power-ups and stuff like that. I'm seeing it as like, okay, I've done my duty. I've done all the sort of stuff. Hey, you got to go ahead and do this stuff again. And he's like, dude, I just did that, and like I'm not happy with it. I think it's a kind of more of a character building thing for Steve in that sort of aspect, and that's something that I really liked. That like you are seeing, hey, like yes, he's getting a brand new team. How is this team related to this? Not related. How is it similar to the other team? The other team were all traitors. Now he has that in his mind going into here. So it's a bunch of information that he's getting from the previous issues, bring it into this, that is giving a brand new light onto the story. Now, do I agree that yes, it is redundant in some points? Yes, I do. I do agree with that. But I think that it is redundant in a good way, that it's more of like Steve learning from his history to adapt to this brand new kind of run that he's going to be going on. Overall, I mean, it makes me excited. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5. I would say like this is a 3 out of 5 issue.
I'm giving it
But
like a 2, bro.
that's insane. That's
I'm
quite
so mad.
insane.
It went from the first 5 issues being 5 out of 5s across the board and it just upset me because I get it. I've also heard similar things, like you said, like about like, oh, it's a different it's a different take. History repeats itself, all that good stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But the whole point of the last story was that he didn't have to change himself. He felt like he had to change himself and become jaded. Then he decided he didn't have to. And then issue 6 comes around and they went, what did we learn in the last episode? Oh yeah, fuck that. What? What are you on about? That's just me. But I also understand I'm going to be 10 times more critical about Captain America media than your average person who has felt the touch of a woman. So, I get it. I get it.
But that was my overall thoughts about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I'm very excited to see what continues to go on. Chip Zdarsky writes just like magic. So I'm excited to see kind of where this goes. It ends with, a certain character kind of being reintroduced, I think in a really cool way. But I'm seeing a lot of influences from the past couple of Captain America movies kind of seeping in to this comic run, which I'm very interested to see kind of how Chip Zdarsky kind of turns it on his head a bit to be kind of a little bit different, because we've been seeing some of the stuff from Falcon and the Winter Soldier showing up with Colton, as well as we've been seeing some of the stuff that happened at the end of Brave New World kind of seeping into this past issue. So I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm really excited for it. Did you want to? I think the last thing I kind of want to talk about is our comic collecting goals, because we are both avid comic collectors.
Yes.
So I want to know a little bit more. I know you focus a lot on the Captain Americas and the Falcons and stuff. Are you looking to divert a little bit more into something else, or are there like Grail comics that you're looking for that you're really wanting?
For me this year, I think that there are a couple Grail comic books I really want. Like Captain America 117 is one that I really want. If you don't know, that's first appearance of Falcon. That's probably like one that I'd be like, this is the magnum opus. This is the one I want. But with that being said, I think that this year, comic collecting goals and comic buying goals. are going to kind of go hand in hand. One, I want to read more, but I also want to not feel the new comic book day. What's the word? I don't want to feel the new comic book day pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm cutting books. Like, I am not going to be buying every single book just because I've started the thing. I'm not going to finish every single run anymore like I was previously. Because before there was some stuff I was picking up and I'm like, oh, these sucked. And the next month I'd be like, oh, this next issue also sucked. And like, I'm just not going to do that. If I don't like it, I'm not going to read it. I know I make content and stuff, but I'm not going to continue to do that, because the other thing I think is more exciting for me is I just want to buy stuff that I'm interested in. I want to buy stuff because I like it. I'm not really a key hunter guy. When I was a little bit younger collecting comics, I wanted to get all the big Spider-Man books that I was after. And for me now, the keys that I want are like small keys of first appearances of characters that I really enjoy. But I think this year, my big comic book collecting kind of goal is to, one, diversify a bit more, like you said, but I want to read more characters that I'm interested in. But I want to do that in a way where I'm getting the stuff that I want to get, and I'm building my collection based on the things that I am interested in and that I love, not just to catch up on every single book or buy the newest best book or whatever. Just focus in a little bit more, but also at the same time diversify a bit more, because there are characters I want to dive into more, and I don't want to just pigeonhole myself just being the Captain America dude, because as much as I do like that, I have interests. I'm a woman. I have needs. Go ahead, Rob. What about you?
I think very much in a similar way. I'm looking to cut back on some of the comics, which is really hard because they're introducing a lot of X-Men comics in this year coming up, and they're giving the Danny Moonstar and then the Rogues and stuff. I didn't pick up the Rogue, but I'm definitely going to be picking up Cyclops and Danny Moonstar when it comes out and getting those. It's just hard for me because I'm like, I feel I am very much a completionist when it comes to certain things, like in video games and stuff. So having this mindset of always being like, I have to get everything. I'm slowly pushing that back, and my wife is doing fantastic. But also, sometimes she very much encourages me. She's like, you haven't bought something in a while, and I'm like, you're right. And I'll spend like $80 on comics. So I'm slowly.
Age of Revelation broke you.
Yeah, honestly, it did. I think Age of Revelation finally made me be like, hey, you don't have to collect everything. So I'm just going in for the stuff that interests me. I'm giving it maybe 1 to 2 issues before I drop it. But I'm going to continue to be collecting my West Coast Avengers, my Wonder Mans, my New Mutants, and X-Men's as I continue to read through all of them. But I think I'm going to go ahead and start throwing in Ghost Rider in there as well. Slowly but surely kind of diversify the kind of comics that I do read. And overall, I also do want to get more into DC, as I am more of a Marvel fanboy. And last but not least, I have a bunch of Humble Bundle has these usually these really cool deals with Image Comics every once in a while. So I bought one of those for $25 that has, I kid you not, like 45 volumes of indie comics that I need to read, or of Image Comics that I need to read. And that's where I've been reading the East of Wests and the Lazaruses and the Paper Girls and stuff like that. So I need to really read all that stuff, because that's just been sitting in my backlog for a fat minute.
Oh yeah, Robert, before we end the show,
I
want to bring up something to you.
Okay.
I got you a gift.
God damn. Oh. I saw your face where immediately you're like, oh, I have a comic that yeah, here you go.
Yeah, this is one that I picked up at the swap. It's not even bagged and boarded. I've been taking care of it though. I just got, like, when I went to that trading thing, and I'm like, I don't really read this, but so anyway, I heard you say Ghost Rider, and I was like, Robert,
hell yeah,
I got you.
I'll take it.
I want to say, is this during Denny Kitch, or is that what his name was, Denny Kitch? I don't remember. But either way, I'll be giving that to you.
Hell yeah, thanks, man. So that is going to be it for this episode of the Geekday podcast. We will not be live next week. Oh,
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish that, then I'll say what I got to say.
Yeah, well, we'll not be live next week, unfortunately. I will be in San Diego celebrating my anniversary with my lovely wife. So I will be over there. I'll be checking out some comic shops while I'm over there. My wife let me.
Ooh.
And so I will I'll be doing that. But do expect a really cool, I think it's about 7-minute interview with indie comic artist Gabriel Perez. I'm going to keep saying that. Hopefully that's I forget his last name. But that will be going live on the Geekday YouTube channel, and then maybe perhaps some clips will be going out on our socials. But do check that out. It is a fantastic conversation that Alex got to have. He sat down one-on-one, and thank you so much, Gabe, for sitting down, taking some time out of selling some of your art and to have a discussion with us. He's also said that he wants to come on the podcast eventually. So
he did. Great guy, and he also smelled amazing.
Yes.
But Robert,
yes,
we should do this again.
We should.
Yeah, every Thursday except next Thursday. For the rest of our lives.
Or until my PC blows up and we're not allowed to stream anymore.
I have a phone.
We'll see you next time, guys.